I don't think there's a patient that I haven't met that's used it that didn't tell me like how it's drastically improved like their quality of life. Like they can keep up with their kids. They're able to like work out again. Like they're able to do the things they need to do to like live a long, healthy life and get back and do like activities that they were supposed to like not be able to do again, or they had to stop doing because they were in so much pain, or that joint or tissue or part of the body stopped working how it was supposed to.
So you had there was a patient that was going to get surgery and then started utilizing the ARP treatment and then did not have to. Is that what I'm hearing?
So he wasn't a personal patient of mine because I met him prior to starting school.
Okay.
He was a friend of a friend, and we're all just like hanging out. And I was like, what is that? And he proceeded to tell the story because he played semi-pro hockey. And he was like, yeah, like I completely destroyed my ACL, like was going to be done playing. And which is the longer you work with our, the more you hear this, it becomes a very common theme. It's like almost every story is like very similar. Like I was supposed to be done playing and like it was going to take X amount of time to get better. But he proceeded to tell me he went and he was like, yeah, it's apparently like the best kept secret of the professional athletic world. And I was like, if that's the case, then like, I was like, I need my hands on it.
Yeah.
But he rehabbed down there in Arizona, I think for 6 months, went for his follow-up to like schedule the surgery. And the surgeon's like, there's nothing for me. There's nothing for me to repair. And he was able to get back to playing hockey, which is, ultimately the goal is to avoid surgery and get back to doing what you love.
Yeah. So Faith, love to hear some stories on some successes that you've seen firsthand, what the issue was and what the outcomes have been.
One of the treatments that we do is for neuropathy, and it's not very like complicated. It's a foot bath. Yeah. So they got their feet in the water, they got the pads on their legs and stuff. And those have been some of my like favorite, like obviously one, because I get to hang out and I get to know some the patients the way that Dr. Miller knows them. But they always tell me like this story about how much it's like changed their life, like just being able to like feel their feet again and not be tripping over stuff. And like there's patients that have like broken their hands because they've tripped over the rug because they can't, or tripped over stuff because they can't feel their feet, and just being able to like sit there with them and see that like they've got their feet in the water, they got the pads on and they're being treated, and just like that simple thing and like interacting with them, you see how big of a difference it's making. And it's just simple. Like we're not over complicating patient care like here. And yeah. I think a lot of the times like it gets over complicated. We treat a lot of shoulders, a lot of like neuropathy. We had a patient who had a Baker's cyst, and that one didn't really involve much movement. But every time she came in, she's just frustrated because, she can't do what she loves, which is like walking. And it was cool to kind of see us switch the original protocol around because what we were doing like wasn't working. And we switched the protocol. And then after the first treatment, she was like, I walked here today. My knee is barely bothering me. I woke up this morning and I didn't even like be like, oh, my knee, like it hurts. It's like stiff. And those stories I think are like the coolest part about like what we're treating.
How often have you seen new patients and existing patients want to send in someone they know after their first treatment?
Every time a new patient comes in, it's almost like within like days or like weeks that they're like, oh, so-and-so brought me in. Yeah, it's literally like after the first treatment, they're like, this is insane. There's nothing like this.
I'd love to get your thoughts on how ARPneuro is going to be part of your practice, regardless of where you land. What are your thoughts?
I have zero intentions of practicing without it.
Okay.
I don't see the point anymore. I drastically value this machine and like what it can do. It's efficient. You get patient compliance. Patients actually want to be involved in their care. And like when you're taking care of people and you're like, you try to tell them, you got to do this at home and this at home. And like, they almost never do. And if they say they do, they're lying. But a machine like this, the patient you're involved with them right there, and they're active in their care, and they want to do it. So you're getting so much more out of your 20 minute appointment with them, and you're actually getting them better, and they're like coming back. And I just think it's efficient, and it really does a great job of addressing what's actually causing them the pain, instead of having to treat the pain and then hope that they come back long enough to fix what was causing the pain. And with this, we're doing it at the same time. So I don't know why I'm not even trying to like market this at all. Like, I just like, when you use it and you see as much as I've seen, and I'm sure as much as you guys have heard and seen, you just don't understand why everyone's not utilizing it with their patients in some realm.